Hello everybody, I'm Carmen Harra, and as you know, every Tuesday 7 p.m. Eastern Time I am on Home Time Radio, and tonight I have a very interesting topic, so I'd love to let you know much more about it and invite you to be part of my show. And it's very easy to be part of the show by calling in 202-570-7057, and you will be connected to me through my producer Christopher, and he can put you in touch with me, and you can ask me your questions. We can talk about your concerns. I love to engage in all types of discussions with you, because there's so many things that on a daily basis we are dealing with. So but the topic of the show today, it's a very interesting topic. It's all about getting the one you love to commit. So we're talking about the concept of commitment and the mistakes that we make when it comes to commitment. So I want you to listen to the show, and again participate in the show, because all of you listening, you have your own inner questions, you have things that you are dealing with on a daily basis, and advice is always good, most likely coming from somebody who does this as a career. You need the advice of a therapist from time to time, somebody who's not involved emotionally in your problems, because sometimes, you know, getting advice from the people that are close to you, your family members, your best friends, can be not always the best advice, as much as they claim they want the best from you. But I want you to know that you know, each of us hold different beliefs about commitment. So we think about getting committed from a total different perspective, from an individual to another. And I actually wrote about this, and I wrote an article, and I'm finishing writing much more about the topic, because I'm actually fascinating about the idea that commitment is such a interesting theme in our life. A lot of men are dedicated to one woman, but there are men who are committed to 3 women. I used to counsel women from Middle East, and those ladies were telling me that they are having a husband who has 3 more wives and 20 kids in total, or even more. And you just have to understand that belief system, that that man is committed to all those women who he married, one after the other. So that's something that is accepted in that part of the world and is not accepted in our world. And as I said, there are men who have their unique definition of commitment. Actually, commitment takes place somewhere when you're young, in your childhood, and what you see inside your family is what you will be reflected later on in your life. If you come from a family that is broken, from a family where there are a lot of issues, or there's a divorce, there's a lot of struggle, a lot of arguing, fights, believe it or not, sooner or later, that kind of an environment is somehow reflected later on in your life. Now, there is not a specific secret to commitment, but we commit in different ways. And some people believe that commitment means having chemistry. But that's completely false. When you like somebody and there's chemistry, it doesn't necessarily mean commitment. Many times we go and get married based on that romance and the chemistries, then we think that's it, that's good enough. And then we realize as the time goes by, then the chemistry goes away, the romance might not be there, and we go separate ways in the way we evolve emotionally, spiritually. So our chemistry and romance will keep us together. Wrong. It's not going to keep us together. Sometimes women marry a man because they say he will provide. They might be true. That might be true for a while. A man will provide to you for a while, but the day will come when he'll probably gonna lose the job. Look at my case. I was married many years, and one day my husband died. So then he got sick, and years we were running from a hospital to another, talking about providing. So it's possible that the man you get married is not going to provide long terms. What are you going to do then? So don't actually commit because of all these principles that you haven't had. So, or you just say, oh, I can change him. I commit to this person. I can see his flaws. I can see his problems, but I can change him. You know, I want to tell you from my experience, nobody can change nobody. So we don't change people. We can only change ourselves. So the wisdom is, don't try to believe that you will change your partner and you commit to him knowing he has so many problems, but that you will be strong enough to change him. You know, that's not going to happen. Don't commit because you think the man is obligated. There's an obligation. Commitment doesn't mean obligation. Commitment, it's far beyond somebody being obligated towards somebody else. Also something else, when you commit to each other, don't believe that if you complain, you will get something. If you talk to your a significant other by demanding things that he has to do this, he's obligated. Instead of bringing him in your life, you're pushing him away. So I want you to understand that pushing things doesn't work. Or something else, giving an ultimatum to somebody, like you have to, if you don't marry me by that day, I'm going to walk away. That doesn't work either. That pushes him some. And another thing, till I don't forget, women who just think I'm going to give him a child and then he's going to commit to me. Kids don't necessarily make people commit to each other. You need to understand, a child is a different aspect of your reality. A child doesn't necessarily bring a family together. And if you bring a child in this world because you think your partner will commit to you, that's a totally false statement. So try to rethink. You know, I'm giving you major hints about what exactly you need to do in order to commit in the correct way. Now, if you go on Match.com, for instance, or in all of these sites, and you're looking for a life partner, you're looking for somebody to love you, what are you going to see? They say, oh, do you like the same movies? There's some questions you need to answer. Do you read the same books? Do you like the same type of dance? So those questions are just funny to me, because none of this works. If you see the same movies or you like the same things, it doesn't mean two people will be able to stick with each other or really embrace commitment for what commitment really means. And I came up with 6 archetypes of men that you encounter when you want to commit. So the 6 types of men that you go through life when you want to commit. And I'm going to talk to you about the 6 archetypes because this is the theme of my show. And then I'm going to take some of your calls. And hi, people from London. I'm so grateful that you're watching me. And this is my fan page. And this is all about my radio show that is taking place today on Home Time Radio. And as you know, I do these radio shows for many, many years. And I have a great pleasure inviting you guys listening to me to be part of my show. So if you want to be part of my show and you're still awake and you're not asleep and you just are intrigued by my topic about commitment, feel free to call in 202-570-7057. That's the number to call in. And hi, Denisa. Hi, Mirabella. Hi, Dita. All of you, Mariana, Mirabella, and all my friends out there, Mirela Turku, I love you guys. I'll answer in a moment. Just hold on. Wait for me to kind of finish you what I found that and resonate a little bit to what I have to say, because it's so interesting. Which are the six archetypes of man when it comes to commitment? So these groups of men, you know, you need to identify. So you go and marry a man. Do you know what type of a man that is? So there is the first archetype of man that you meet is so-called Mr. Independent. So have you ever met a man that all he cares is to be independent? I mean, he needs to get married eventually. But the most important thing that he cares about is his independence. I've seen marriages in which the man cares about his independence more than about his family. So the first archetype of man that you will meet in your life, and you will eventually experience something fascinating about commitment is the Mr. Independent. Mr. Independent is a man who is highly on his own. And the characteristic of Mr. Independent, I'm just looking through all my notes because I made a lot of notes about this, is that the Mr. Independent is self-reliant, he values his space, he's outgoing, he's fearless, he's detached, he's strong, he's smart street, he's have a hard time communicating. If you meet a man and you marry a man who's independent, you will have problems in communicating, you will have problems to see him totally attached to you, but he will marry you and he knows he needs to get married. But it's important to understand that Mr. Independent is somebody that will always value his own independence before anything else. The second archetype of man is the family man. If you meet the family man, then you're a lucky woman, because that's the best archetype of all. Mr. Independent, Mr. Family man, the man who's dedicated to his family, is very rare to find. It's a man who wants a family. It's a man for whom the family is everything. It's somebody who wants to be seriously involved and dedicates his life to his wife, to his children, to his parents. So he wants to build a home. He's generous, he's kind, he's grounded, he's comfortable, he's nurturing, he's stable, he's sacrificial, he's loving. He's somebody who wants to build. That's why family man is the ideal type of man. So I'm talking to you all the time about getting married. Now you need to know which of this type of man you're gonna meet in your life. Do you meet Mr. Independent, somebody who loves you, cares about you, but cares about his independence first? Do you meet the family man? If you meet the family man, then you're a lucky woman, because that man will devote his life to the idea of a family and to his children and to you. Then the third archetype is Mr. Workaholic, the man who works and put his career first. The man who wants to dedicate his life to what? To his work. The man that, okay, you get home, he's still at work. You want to go on vacation, he's not going to go on vacation because he still has a project to finish. He respects his work more than anything else. This is a man who is headstrong, he's motivated, he's intelligent, he's progressive, he is self-made. I've seen Mr. A workaholic is somebody who works extremely hard, extremely hard. Elena, I promise I'll tell you in a minute. Daniela, the same thing. I'll talk to you. Hopefully you understand everything I'm saying. I just hope that, you will wait for me another minute or so to finish my idea. So Mr. Independent, Mr. Family Man, Mr. Workaholic, and then there's the fourth archetype. So I came up with this entire idea that I'm very proud of because I think it can create an entire concept. I want to do a seminar on this. So the fourth archetype, the fourth, is Mr. Introvert. Have you ever seen people who are so introverted? They have a hard time communicating. They have a hard time telling you what bothers them. People who live in their own world, who are in their own universe. They are emotionally closed off. They are impossible to communicate with. They're talented. They're very smart, but they like covert. They're very careful in whatever they say. They unresponsive to your emotion. If it's an introvert, you can fall on the floor. He's not going to react. Have you ever seen sometime a family in which the wife is desperate, she's about to give birth, and the husband is an introvert, so he has a hard time picking up the phone and call the ambulance or feeling what his wife feels. And I can go on with example like that. Now, number 5, the fifth element of archetype of man is called the wounded one, a man who's been wounded, who went through a trauma, who went through a terrible divorce, who went through something that was really, really difficult. Now, the wounded man, and that comes true to women, women that are wounded, women that have been betrayed, that were beaten, that were treated bad. So if that happens, and if you are the wounded person, then you have a hard time overcoming that feeling. So a wounded person in a marriage is somebody who is always going to be in pain. And this is the person who's always closed off, afraid, pessimistic. You're married to a pessimistic guy. That's pretty much what it is. He has good intention, but he's always having a hard time seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And the sixth element, the sixth type of man is the narcissistic guy. And that comes true, that can be expanded into a sociopath and so on and so forth. But the narcissistic is all about him. If you marry a man that is jealous of you, if you are with a man in a relationship that he has a hard time applauding you because he wants everybody to applaud him. If you resonate with what I'm telling you, feel free. So these are the 6 archetype of men that I want you to take into consideration when you are about to commit to somebody, because it's very important for you to understand how powerful this is. So I want to see about you a little bit. Ramsey, you want to know much more about you. You born 4th of January, I guess, in 81. So you're in a year of reflection. So you're not in a year of decision. But overall, I want you to know, I don't know if you've been through a separation or through a divorce, but I want you to hold on for the next 5 months. There is a big turnaround towards the end of the year, right around the holiday, Remy, sorry. There's a turnaround of a situation. So I think things will get better for you in a sense of your emotional fulfillment. I have a sense that you've been wounded yourself. I don't know if you have a daughter, but something about a child comes intuitively very strong to me. Anna, Lucky, I love your name. You are in a karmic year. Karmic years are very powerful, but only as of November. So hold on a little bit longer, 2 months more, not even, probably 6 weeks more. There's a big year of recognition. There's a big year of achievement. There's a year of fulfillment financially. There's a year of resolving two karmic situations from the past with 2 relationships that you were never able to close doors. Anna, I want to ask you if you have a son. You're actually supposed to have 2 kids. Let me know if you have them. Nicoletta, you're asking me about what's ahead of you. It's interesting that you very pretty woman, very pretty, extremely creative. You have tons of ideas all the time. You're in a year of creativity, actually, to expand your creative energy. And I don't know if you do something creating, like designing, everything work with your imagination, work with your mind. It's so you have a great year ahead of you. As of the summer of the next year, during the summer, there's a major deal that you're gonna sign. There's an agreement or something. You're supposed to have 2 kids, at least, if not 3. I don't know if you have them, let me know. Let me see who else I have. Claudia, you just say something that is not very clear to me. You said, hi Carmen, hi my love, hi Claudia. I want to know exactly if there's something I can help you, because there's no clear message coming from you. But all I tell you that the sense I have of you is that you have a project ahead of you during the month of November and December, relevant for you. There's a person with a name like Rob, Robert, Rose, somebody with an R name. Pay attention to this person. And there's somebody in your family who needs attention, who lives out of your area, or if your parents live somewhere else, or somebody older in your family, give them a call and find out what's going on with them. So that's pretty powerful. Mariana Nichigan, I'm sending you kisses, obviously. That's all you want. I love you. Diana May, you're born in Toronto in 1966, April 25th. You have the number of God. You're very strong, very goal-oriented. You know what you want. You're supposed to have a son, even two. I don't know if you have kids. They part of your codification. Stability, a lot of financial stability. The second part of your life, after 48, 44, 48, there is possibility of a separation. I don't know if this happened to you. Just pay attention. Preventing things is always important. You have a karmic relationship with your father, who seemed to have a problem. I don't know if your father's still around, Diana, please let me know. But all I can say that at this point in your life, you're in a karmic year 4, which is very powerful. To buy, to invest, to, at this moment in your life, is very good to stabilize your project. There's a long trip coming ahead. I don't know if you travel overseas or somewhere, but there's a very strong possibility of a trip, which would be interesting. Do you have a brother, Diana? Let me know. Will you just write me back? Because it would be interesting. There's something that involves your brother. So Christina, November 2nd, you meant to get married, and actually you meant to get married very soon. This can happen with somebody who I should say is a little bit younger than you, and he's very charismatic. I should say that is actually a very good situation for you. Elena, you're asking me about your mom. Okay, let me see what's going on with your mom. Okay, she has a serious, I hate to say that, I never like to say bad news, but she has a problem that seems to be very serious. I don't know if this is well diagnosed, but it's a serious problem that she's dealing with. I should say that she needs to break through this from now on to the spring of the next year, and if she does, she's gonna be fine. So it's like, because life is all about timing. It's all about timing. If we succeed to catch the right timing, then we can break through. So pretty much that's what I say, that your mother needs to go through this moment right now, you know what I mean, that breaking through the disease, and it can be done. Elena, I'm offering you a free session. If you feel free to call me, you find my number on my website, carmenharra.com, or on Facebook, and feel free to call me and we can talk and communicate much more about your mother. I really want to help you, so I offer you a free session. Claudia, you're telling me about you and your husband wants to move to another country. That's gonna happen, and it's actually gonna be a very good move. So go ahead and do it. It's gonna be for the benefit of you all. So I suggest that you do it. Because it's a good decision, it's a good move. Hi, Ioana Rodica, thank you so much for watching me. Gabriela, Stefana, God bless you too. You will pass the interview with Qatar Airways, and you will do very well. You're very bright, you're extremely beautiful, and you have you guaranteed to have the success and to be where you're gonna love doing it. It's gonna be it's a good airline. You're gonna love it. You're good for it, and you'll do it for a good number of years, and you will meet a lot of interesting people. So I send you a big kiss, my love. It's just extremely powerful. Mihaela Stan, you're in a karmic year too, right? You just entered this, and this is powerful for money. You're born on the 22nd. That's money. So I don't know if you hit the jackpot, play the lottery, because rarely I say this, but you can win. I don't know why I see France, or you traveling to the south of France, something like this comes to me. Another person with an S name, I can see that your last name starts with an S, but there's another person with an S name that I want you to find out who that person might be and who has a name like Anna, Angela for you. Mihaela, pay attention to that. Claudia Iwan, I can tell you that you are a lucky person. You're meant to have 2 up to 3 children. Very independent, talking about being independent, extremely creative, probably too independent. So work on your independence. I want you to do that. Claudia, love you, my dear. You are, you need to either sell, buy. There's a big contract that seems to become clear to you, and your mother comes very strong to my head. I don't know if she's still around, but I see a big V and M name from somebody who I have a very strong feeling that's not here, Claudia. And it's like a message. Mirela Dobre, I'm not worried about the health of your daughter. It's more emotional. It's not something physical, so you can be, you can relax. You can relax. Your baby's gonna be okay. Let me see if there's somebody I missed. I love you guys. Yonitsa Trayan, you find another work. No worries, you're gonna do well. It's actually gonna be better than the work that you had. You working with a woman who's short hair, lighter hair, something with an E name. So you find somebody else. So I'm not worried about this. Just don't be concerned. Because it's gonna be very good. I'm gonna see who else is here that I didn't respond. Okay, yeah, Natalia, I love your question. So you're asking me about you and your husband and what kind of a type is he. So I gave you that there are 6 major types of men. Men who work and put their work first. Men who are independent. Men who are narcissists, men who are wounded from. I don't think your guy is wounded. I don't think he's a narcissist. You can detect that by the way he behaves, Natalia. So by the way he acts. So I gave you a little bit of the characteristics if you want to listen to my show. But I'm going to make an article. I'm going to publish it on my Facebook so you can all read about these types, because it comes after many years of working in the field of psychology, working with people directly, that I came up with all of this. So I kind of want you to learn from it, because you can identify the people who are in your life, and you can stay away from Mr. Narcissist, because he's going to only hurt you. Stay away from people like Mr. Independent, because he's not. So I'm not sure, unless you define me his personality. But overall, I think he's a good soul. That's how I see him. I'm looking at him numerologically, and I feel like you can have a good relationship with him. And I think this is going to work. And you are very nice, very reliable, very successful, and you meant to have kids, Natalia, relatively soon. So that's a good thing. We always celebrate having children in this world, especially if we love our partner. So Gabriel Montano is asking me how many books I wrote. I wrote 8 books, and I'm finishing my 9th book. So I wrote a number of books. I'm very proud of them. So I continue to write books and come up with ideas for you guys to benefit from everything that I learned to life. And this is the way we learn through books. Unfortunately, you know, we don't read books the way we should, unfortunately. So like knowledge is not so important anymore, though it should be. Okay, so somebody's asking me, what do I see for July 27? So you're in the year 9, end of a life cycle. Actually, it was a pretty difficult cycle. I don't know if you agree with me. With a lot of experiences in the last 3 years, turning it around as we move to the summer of the next year. So hold on to your horses. So don't make any major decisions as of now. Hold on to your decisions, because as you're stepping into the next year, it's going to be so much easier for you to decide on the things. And there is also a major trip somewhere in the May of the next year that's going to change your life from in so many ways. So this is interesting. So Elena, you asking me that you want to call me to speak much more about your mom. Yes, I want you to do that. Call me and let's speak much more about your mom. I want to really help you. I feel it's important that we speak more in details. Unfortunately, as you can see, when we are on these live videos, there's a lot of people, and then it's very hard to respond to everybody. So we respond to some people. The responses are very quick and sometimes inconsistent because there's no physical time to do it in a better way, but I'm trying the best I can. So yes, Elena, Adriana, feel free to contact me and I'll give you time to speak about your mom. So Bianca, you're talking about you and your daughter. Overall, everything seems to be okay. Everything seems to be okay about your relationship. You have absolutely a beautiful girl. Very strong, very independent, very blessed from so many. It's such an evolved. It's almost like I feel like you're gonna learn a lot from your daughter. It's interesting that our kids, at some point in life, they represent lessons of life. So, Liliana Angel, this is what I can say about your beautiful girl. So, Nicoletta Manchuk, you asked me about if you change your place to work. I told you this, that you do. I think I answered this. Daniela, you born in 1970, the planet of karma. You're very independent. You tend to isolate yourself, which I don't want you to do that. Try to be more open. Yonuts, you love me. I love you back, Yonuts. Is amazing to receive the energy of love and the good emotion that comes from somebody who cares about you. And as you can know, I do this because I care. It's important to care, and only to care conditionally because you receive something in return. Just to care without expecting anything else. Anka, the notes financially, I'll tell you in a second. It looks like things will get better in a little bit. Natalia, you asking me when I arrive in London, will you invite me? If you guys want to organize a seminar, let's do it. If you know people there, we can put a seminar together. Exactly what I do. So, Domnul Claudia Antonio, I'm not a politician. My intent is only to elevate the human consciousness. Unfortunately, some people stay at the low level of consciousness, and there's nothing I can do about that. And you stay there where you belong. And Sofika Stoika, your health is okay overall. There's tiny things here and there that you need to change. I should say a little bit about your thyroid, the glandular system. Other than that, you know, I'm not that worried. I don't think there's anything major because I don't want you, you know, when we're afraid, we can make ourselves sick. That's the sad part. Hi, Maria Hrishka. Hi, Liliana Angel. I don't know, you're asking me something that I don't see clearly. Okay. Luminitza Radu, if I see kids in your life, 100%, I do see kids in your life, my love. And actually, I see two kids in your life that come either together or right after each other. There's no way you're going to miss that. So 100%. It's the time to think seriously about it right now. And if you invite me, I'll come to the christening of them. So I'll come to baptize one of them. I'll be very excited about it. And just let me know so I can celebrate. So yeah, that's really going to happen. Maria Simone asking about changes in your life. Yes, there are a lot of changes. Irina Ionella, I love you back. Maria, you asking me about your love life and your future. Now, as of September, things change for you in a more realistic way. I mean, you become more pragmatic about your love and more pragmatic about what you need to do with your life. I don't know if there's a change of a residence or you buy an apartment, but there's something that is an investment that I think very good. Love life makes a major turnaround, which I see you deciding on things you haven't been deciding in the last 6 years. So there's a major change. Christina, you're asking me about having children. Absolutely. Having a daughter, it's something that's gonna happen. Wow, and it's just meant to happen as we speak of getting pregnant. So go ahead and do it. It's just there. It's just happening. Gabriela, God bless you back, my love. Gabriela, Adriana, thank you so much for your beautiful soul. And as you know, I am here for you. And anytime you need me with something, feel free to call me. I can't respond all the time as much as I want. But remember the 6 archetype of man. So if there's a man here that seems offended, if there's man watching, of course there was one guy who seemed very offended by the 6 archetype of man, the narcissist, the independent, the workaholic, the man who cannot commit, not to speak about a sociopath and so on and so forth. There's different groups of men, that they need to work on themselves. But when it comes to this way of putting people in categories, that comes true to women too. But me as a woman, I came up with this idea of the 6 archetypes of men, that we should pay attention when we want to commit to somebody. So I love you guys. I'm going to go do my radio show. If you want to be a part of my show on Home Time Radio in Washington at 202-570-7057, feel free to call me and let's talk about the idea of commitment. Who are you committed to? What kind of a guide are you committed to? And meanwhile, I wish you a beautiful evening. I love you. Celebrate every second of your life, and remember, being good to each other is the most important thing, and being good to yourself. So stay away from trouble. Don't get involved with the wrong people, and let's talk anytime you want. I'm here for you. I love you guys. God bless you. I love you.